Hello everyone, I'm here today with a flip-through video. I have completed day one of Prague, so I have that here to go through with it, and the majority of these do have process videos to go along with them. Not all of them, but most of them. So if you've been following this series, you're going to recognize some of these pages. So this is all a 6x8 pocket page album, but I do have various types of inserts here. I've used all different kinds of embellishments. I also tried to really get in some decent journaling because I did keep a traveler's notebook journal while I was gone. So I tried to work in a bunch of that. And then there are also, as you just saw, quite a few photo flips so far because I had a lot to say and I had lots of photos that I wanted to include. I also have some full 6x8 pages like this one. I also try to include those. Often they're just one photo. Here I actually have two on there. I had two smaller horizontal ones that worked, but more often than not, they are just one photo. And in the case of this one, there isn't even a photo on it. But I wanted to use this laser cut title that I had, and I bought this from Petticoat Parlor. So if you're interested in that and you like the look of it, they have lots of these for different cities and countries around the world. I also included some acrylic pieces. I think this one is from Color Cast Designs, if I remember right. So I think I have several of those in here. I also did quite a bit of stamping, so you'll see that on probably almost every layout, I think. I even worked in a little cork embellishment on this one. There's some more stamping there. Here's another flip. Another cork embellishment there. And I also had quite a few digital files that I printed and cut out, and so that's one of them there. I think this is too. I don't think that was part of a kit. I think that was digital and I printed it out and used it. Oops, there's another photo flip. So it's not often that I have layouts like this where I would match the paper quite so much, but this one, the paper is so wild and it worked for the design, so I used it. But here's another flip under there with a little bit more journaling. And this video I did actually not long ago. I skipped around a lot in this album. So this one actually uses part of a bag that I got when I was shopping. So I just cut out the design here and used it. I also have included some postcards in all of my albums actually for the trip I took last summer. I have used postcards because I found several that I liked, and so I wanted to include them. Here I have a 4x6, and I think this is the only one, well, maybe there might be one more, where I actually did just a full 4x6 photo, but I loved the look of the photo, so I didn't want to cut it down or make it smaller, so it got its own insert. Use some flair there too. I've had some of those forever. I was able to use up quite a bit of stuff in this album out of my stash. That was one of my goals, was to use as much out of my stash as I could. So like this rubber embellishment I got, normally it probably would have taken a long time to use that, but I thought, I have it. I'm not going to just let it sit around, and it matched with the green here. So it worked out well. That's the Lenin Wall, by the way. And here we're just meandering more through the streets of the Malá area in Prague. So I kept the embellishments pretty minimal here because I really wanted the focus to be on a lot of these photos. This was a store that featured tons of glassware, and glassware is huge in Prague. We saw a lot of stores like this. So not only did we want to look at the beautiful glassware, but we wanted to get out of the heat. They actually had AC in this store. So we stayed in there, you know, longer than we might have otherwise, but it was just so nice and cool. It was in the 90s Fahrenheit, so I think it was okay for us to do that. This was just a little French cafe that we happened across as we were walking. Very unexpected. And this is our first kind of glimpse of the edge of the Charles Bridge. So I wanted to make sure that we included that. And then this was on the Malá side. Oops. And then this was when we actually checked in. We had dropped our bags at our hotel earlier, but this is when we actually checked into, whoops, the hotel. And I remember this card specifically. When I got this as part of, I don't know, some kit that I had, I didn't know how the heck I was going to use that. And it worked out perfectly for this, you know, very kind of old school boutique hotel. So yay, got to use that too. So this was our first dinner in Prague, and we actually had a fantastic restaurant that was right downstairs from our hotel room. It was on the main floor of our hotel, and if you ate there, you got like a 10% discount too. And so we thought, well, what the heck, we'll give it a try. And the food was fantastic. Probably best we had in Prague. And then I saved our receipt, so I included that too. Very reasonably priced when you do the conversion from the Czech krona to American dollars. And then after dinner, we were off. We had booked a river cruise for 8 o'clock that night. So we tried to take the tram. That didn't work out. I actually told that story on a journaling card coming up. We tried, but how you buy tickets there is totally different from how we do it in the United States. And so we had trouble finding 2 tickets. We found 1, but we couldn't find 2. And so finally we just gave up and we said, forget it. We're just going to take a taxi. So I told that story here. And our taxi to get down to the port was far cheaper than the taxi that we took from the train station. So it's kind of nice to get a cheaper ride. I have another photo flip here. And then I also use some sequins here. I hoard sequins. I keep buying them, but I don't tend to use them as often as I should. So I wanted to make sure that I got some in here. And here's some more stamping. I did that with Moonlight White ink from Brilliance. So I worked in some stamping there as well. And here I used up some tags I had. They just worked nicely on that card. And this is very, very thin wood veneer from Color Cast Designs. So if you like the look of it, it is from Color Cast Designs. And they're more known for their acrylic that they make, but they do some wood veneer as well, and I enjoy both. Now here's another one where I did some sequins in there, so I just put in what I wanted, and I used my fuse tool to seal the pocket. So once you learn how to use that tool, it's pretty easy. Oh, and then this up here in the corner and this phrase, those are actual digital stamps. So I put those on the photo and then printed. Those are not stamped. This is stamping though. Both of these are. I did a process video on this one, so if you want to watch me doing all that, you can. So here's another one where I had a 4x6 card that was kind of just meh on its own, and so I decided to dress it up a little bit. I found some extra things to add to it, and I really like how that came out. And here's another full 4x6, a full 6x8 with just the one photo. It's got a nice metallic finish on the photo, which I love. I do have to say this layout, I did not do a process video for this one. This is the only one that I'm not totally happy with. I had this grand idea, and then when I put it all together, I'm not in love with how this paper like goes with this, but I was going for kind of a night and star theme because the sun was going down. But it's okay, I'll live with it. Didn't have to be anything super special, so I'm keeping it. And now these last couple layouts for day 1 are some of my favorites. I love night shots in general, and I got some really good ones while I was on the Charles Bridge and then just on the other side when we were approaching it. So it worked out just fantastically. So I just add puffy sticker, a little phrase label, and then here I have another laser cut title that's also from Petticoat Parlor. So again, if you're liking the look of those, that's where you can find them. I just did a little bit of stamping, put on a puffy geotag, and that was done. And then this is my last full layout here for day 1. And there's a lot of yellow here, so I tried to make sure I could also highlight the blue, and then I added in some black as well. So I did some stamping here. I did some splattering of ink. Here I did the Moonlight White stamping again, and it came out extremely well in that photo. I'm super happy with that. Here I just printed out this card. This is actually on photo paper. I wanted to make sure it looked good under a page protector, so it's a little bit glossy under there. Just put a little vellum on there, added a sticker, and it was good to go. So pretty easy to build my own card there. And then here's the last layout. So just more pictures from the bridge at night, a little bit of journaling, and that's it. So I have day one for Prague complete. Thanks for watching.